must concern you, though, that you are not trusted by the world community. People say that you are not believed. Does that concern you? This is the attitude from the outside.
Absolutely, absolutely. But just because of that, I'm saying, don't trust me. If you don't trust me. Please send people and check. Trust your own eyes, not to me.
Gaby Rado, Channel 4 News. Thank you.
To have a continuation of Yugoslavia, to preserve Yugoslavia as a country which existed. Serbia doesn't have any territorial pretension. Muslims in Yugoslavia are living in Bosnia, not only in Bosnia. They are living in Serbia, they are living in Montenegro, in Macedonia. And how that can be in their interest to be splitted in 4 states?
We'll start rolling any minute now, I think. Certainly hope.
Nobody can hide the truth for a long time. After a while, truth will be accessible. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Gaby Rado, Channel 4 News. Thank you very much indeed for granting us the interview and finding the time to see us.
I'm pleased to see you.
Thank you very much. Perhaps you'd like to sit down.
Please take a seat.
Shot, probably better, just
Oh, I see.
so you could actually check and say something.
Okay,
before we start.
sorry, we're about to start any minute now, so we're just going to get the test of the sound quality, and the 2 cameras will start rolling any minute now, I think. Certainly hope.
You happy, Don?
Yes, I'm happy.
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
You running?
Yeah.
President Milosevic, the United Nations imposed sanctions because it believed that Belgrade was responsible for the violence in Bosnia and Croatia. What action are you going to take to satisfy the UN's demands?
First thing, what I want to say, we want to cooperate with UN. We don't think that we have to be confronted with UN. We are part of a world organization, and I think that only on the basis of understanding what really happens here, we can reach some what we can consider justful solution to our country. As you know very well, I would like to remind you that before everything started in Bosnia and Herzegovina, attitude of Serbia was very clear. I said that in the parliament, end of February or beginning of March, and that was our policy adopted in Serbian parliament. And that was very clear from the very beginning. We said then that only solution for Bosnia and Herzegovina is a tripartite consensus of 3 equal peoples of Bosnia and Herzegovina. We said very clearly, we don't think that Serbs are jeopardized in Bosnia and Herzegovina. They are not minority, they are equal, they are on their own. And because of that, peace is a favor of their interests. Only solution for Bosnia is negotiations on a basis of equal rights of 3 constituent units, 3 constituent peoples of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Muslims, Serbs, and Croats. And at that time, we said that any decision, any solution they realize on a basis of that tripartite consensus, Serbia will fully respect and support. It was, I hope, clear from the very beginning that we didn't have any motivation for support any hostilities. Hostilities are something what is tragic in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Only people from outside which do not understand situation in Yugoslavia and especially in Bosnia and Herzegovina can think that from our side can exist motivation for war and hostilities? For one simple fact: no winner in that bloody civil war. All people is suffering big damages and human lives, and no innocent in that conflicts in terms of sides. Of course, innocents are only citizens which are suffering altogether, independently, regardless to their nationality. And I think that they are together in the basements in Sarajevo, for example. Serbs and Muslims, all of them are suffering cruelties of that war.
But the world community does believe that the violence there, both last year in Croatia and now in Bosnia, was orchestrated from Belgrade, and that even now the arms which are being used by the Serbian irregular forces come from Serbia.
No, that is not correct impression, thanking to that very, very strong media war, and maybe I can say some blockade of real informations from here. You know very well that we don't have any single soldier on Bosnia and Herzegovina soil. Practically before divisioning of country, there was Yugoslav army on all territory, and when we had a promulgation of a new constitution of Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, the same day was issued a decision of placing all citizens of Yugoslavia which are in military service in Yugoslav army within borders of Yugoslavia. It means that after that moment, in the shortest technical period of 20 days, all of them were placed back to Yugoslavia. The same way like that was realized in Macedonia, for example, after their declaration of independence. But in Macedonia was not a war, no hostilities there, no one drop of blood, no one shot there, and that was, how to say, very normal and very peaceful. That could happen in terms of those relations between Bosnia and Yugoslavia. But it just shows that it is not interaction between Bosnia and Yugoslavia. It shows that it is not invasion to Bosnia or aggression to Bosnia. It is civil war within Bosnia.
The world community, the United Nations, would want you to use your influence in those areas outside Serbia where there is violence to call a halt to it. Are you able to do that?
We are using all our influence, but our influence is limited. We never were in a history, and not in this moment, masters or commanders of Serbian people in Bosnia and Herzegovina. They were not electing us. We don't have their mandate to decide instead of them. We are urging for peace, and we are pressing all sides, and we are helping it. And I want to orient your attention to the latest report of Secretary General of United Nations. I hope that that latest report was publicized in your country, but it was yesterday when we saw that our expectation that truth after a while will prevail in a picture of Yugoslav crisis were not unbased. In that report is very clearly explained that Belgrade is not commanding any forces in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in that report is clearly explained on a basis, I suppose, of present monitors or officials of UN here in Yugoslavia, that there are Croatian troops on the soil of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And how you can judge now on a basis of those facts which are true, we don't have any single unit of our army on the soil of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And Croatia has even divisions there. and we are under sanction. We always were saying that we don't ask anybody to trust us, but to check, to send monitors, officials, delegations, people which can visit every part of our country and of Bosnia and Herzegovina as well, and check what is on the field, including invitation to deploy the monitors on a border between Yugoslavia or Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina to check that there is no any activities which can be connected with the war. Just opposite, we are sending all the time humanitarian help to Bosnia and Herzegovina, and especially to Sarajevo. And I never saw one article in Western press about that. And that humanitarian help is given on a basis of equality, on a basis of a principle of non-discrimination. That humanitarian help from Serbia is given to Muslims, their association for help, to Serbs, to Croats, to every people in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Mr. President, how do you answer the accusation that in the statements that you yourself have made over the past 4 years, you've created an expectation amongst the Serbian populations in Bosnia and Croatia that you'd support them in breaking away from their own republics?
No, that was not. You can check very strictly what was our policy. We had a policy to have a continuation of Yugoslavia, to preserve Yugoslavia as a country which existed. And Yugoslavia, we were blamed that we want to create Greater Serbia. That was not in any time our policy. And we were very clear explaining that Serbia doesn't have any territorial pretension. When I met United States Secretary of State, Mr. Baker, last summer, I said to him, we don't have any territorial pretension, but we would like to preserve Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia is in the same time Greater Serbia, but in Greater Croatia or Greater Slovenia or Greater Montenegro, having in mind that every Yugoslav people is living all around Yugoslavia, and even today I think that not exist any Yugoslav people which will be much more happier out of Yugoslavia than within their former country. But I suppose that after that nationalistic temperature decrease and cool down, then we'll again be in a situation to re-establish our internal links, cooperation, economic, cultural, and other. And because of that, that was very clear. Serbs in Croatia or in Bosnia, they wanted to stay within Yugoslavia, not to be merged to Serbia. They wanted to use their right to self-determination to choose Yugoslavia as their country in general. I think that even that was absolutely in favor of interest of Muslims. Muslims in Yugoslavia are living in Bosnia, not only in Bosnia. They are living in Serbia, they are living in Montenegro, in Macedonia. And how that can be in their interest to be splitted in 4 states. It is absolutely out of any reason that anybody can blame us that we are against Muslims now. Muslims and Serbs on these soils are people which were living in a peace and understanding, and existing conflicts between them are only in favor of interests of enemies of Muslims and Serbs, not in favor of interests of Muslims or Serbs. Because of that, we are doing our best to stop that bloody war and to support their getting back to sit around the table and to continue their negotiation about their future and final solution of a crisis in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
What effect do you expect the sanctions to have on Serbia?
Sanctions will have a very bad effect in terms of economy. We are not an island. We are cooperating. Our environment is world market, but I hope that sanctions will be lifted after clarification of a situation in Yugoslavia, after truth come on a scene. Now on a political scene are interest and power, not truth and justice. And we are very pleased that we could see yesterday that new report of Secretary General. I hope that after that some other missions and reports will help truth to get through. We don't want to be supported from any side for any irreasonable reason. We think that truth is on our side, and we were not from the very beginning for any hostilities in Yugoslavia. You know very well how hostilities started in Yugoslavia. Hostilities started with the unilateral acts of secession and using of force for secession from Yugoslavia. Serbia never had any unilateral act to secede from Yugoslavia, nor act of using any kind of force to do that. In a very simple reason that we were supporting idea of preservation of Yugoslavia. And from the very beginning we said that we are not opposing self-determination rights of any people, but our suggestion was that we have to change our constitution of Yugoslavia to put in order right to self-determination on the same way for all Yugoslav peoples, and that through peaceful and legal way realize any aspiration of any people of Yugoslavia.
How concerned are you about the possibility of foreign military intervention here? And what steps are you taking against it?
I really wonder how anybody can start with any military intervention against country in which it exists peace on every square centimeter and which is not having any armed personnel anywhere out of that country. We are not phantoms. We don't have an army which can have secret actions. We cannot hide that in front of our citizen. If we had any soldier out of Yugoslavia, we could have protests of our citizens, of parents and relatives, and it is very clear to all our people, all our citizens in Serbia that we really do not have it. And how anybody can find a basis for any intervention against us for not having any military action to anybody.
But do you think it's a possibility? Do you think it's a possibility?
Well, that can be absolutely unjustful and kind of aggression to our country. If that happens, I don't think that international community can support something like that.
Won't there come a time when the sanctions will cause such suffering among the people of Serbia that you will be forced to reconsider your position?
Oh, we are reconsidering positions every day, and we are in a situation to have a hard work about everything in a political, economic, and other fields on our life in Serbia, and that is very easy to find a way out from those problems. You know, in our country, only citizens can decide. Citizens can decide about any political, personal issue, and it is not absolutely a problem from any aspect. It is up to will to the citizens. Any solution, including personal solutions, in Serbia and in Yugoslavia, are up to citizens, not up to anybody outside of Serbia or Yugoslavia. We are independent and sovereign country, and normally, like all other countries, we think that our political life have to be based on a will of our citizens, and that's all.
The unorthodox, The Orthodox Church took the unprecedented step of coming out against your government. Opposition on the street seems to be mounting. Won't you be forced to reconsider your course after a while?
I think that the best answer to all those things what you said was given by citizens after all that pressures and after resolution of UN, which was not, as you can understand our position, which was not justful from our point of view. After all those things, big majority, 2/3 of citizens get into election and realize their rights for election. That is the best answer of citizens, of people in Serbia and in Yugoslavia to the all questions of having how to say dictate to our internal political life.
You have led a country which previously had friends all around the world into a state of virtual isolation. Isn't that a disaster for Serbia and for you personally?
It is very big pressure to us. It is a tragic pressure to Serbia, and if that pressure was really based on a just reality, and our position, our policy, or if it was a truth that we really realized aggression to Bosnia and Herzegovina, I think that could be absolutely normal. But we didn't, and because of that, I'm convinced that nobody can hide the truth for a long time. After a while, truth will be accessible to the international audience. Truth is accessible to internal political life. People understand what happened there. People knows very well that we were not aggressors to Bosnia and Herzegovina. That was clear. And we are under pressure just because of the fact that we were not accepting, we rejected that decision for our country to be abolished. I want to remind you, when sanctions started in European community, on the very moment when we rejected to accept abolition of our country, and how anybody could accept it from our side, expect it from our side to accept abolition of one single country, what we have in a personality of Yugoslavia. You know that in that paper on Hague conference, there was alternative of independent and sovereign states for those which wish it. And we only asked to be written in that document the other option of a common state for those which wish it, for those which wish to remain in Yugoslavia. And I don't think that it was uncooperative from our side that if there is a possibility for the republics which want to be independent and sovereign, the same possibility for those which want to preserve common state and to remain in Yugoslavia. And then sanctions started based on explanation that we are not cooperative. How anybody can say that we were not cooperative only because of rejection of acceptation of abolition of our country?
But you've led the country.
I'll give you one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. If the best path to peace now seems to be your own departure from office, your own resignation, would you take that path?
Absolutely. If it is a prize for lifting on sanctions or just for solution, that is the cheapest way for that. It is not a problem at all. And I'll say to you who can be the happiest for that. My family, my children, and my wife, in that case. It's not a problem. A problem is absolutely different. Problem is a continuation of existence of our country and right of our people to put in order on their own will how they are going to live together, not to be dictated from outside, not to be blackmailed from outside, to be equal. We don't think that there is anything specific what we need for our people and our country than all other world has. That is equality and nothing else. We don't ask for anything which is not depending to others, but we don't want to accept less than that. And that's all.
Is there an initiative which you can now take, which you've been considering, which you think might ease the situation, which might help towards lifting the sanctions?
I said on the very beginning of our conversation that we will do our best to cooperate with the United Nations to meet their requests about their how to say attitudes about peace and stability here. And as you know very well, we supported a lot of measures which will clarify situation. Like, for example, is that issue of Sarajevo Airport. It was our attitude that Sarajevo Airport have to be demilitarized and placed under control of UN. It is a good idea for all Sarajevo city. And I think that if UN send their monitoring groups and their personnel to see on every single place what is happening there, that will prove that our efforts to reach a peace and to support peaceful tendencies in Bosnia are very firm.
It must concern you, though, that you are not trusted by the world community. People say that you are not believed. Does that concern you? This is the attitude from the outside.
Absolutely, absolutely. But just because of that, I'm saying, don't trust me. If you don't trust me. Please send people and check. Trust your own eyes, not to me.
Mr. President, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, yes, from the beginning of the century.
All right.
Yeah. And we have here a lot of very good paints. It's a lot of them.
Oh, yes.
Members of Academy.
Yes, I saw some on the way out. Is this one of the royal residences, presumably, at the beginning of the century?
Yes, on the beginning of the century, but before the Second World War, I think that was a museum. And after that, began to official functions.
Yeah. I must say, I stay in Belgrade so far. It's been extremely pleasant, and despite all the problems which everybody must feel, people have been extremely hospitable and very friendly, just like the other times I've been
not
here.
very aggressive, I suppose.
Well, there was a little friction, but nothing too bad. That's very kind, thank you.
I shall wait. Please take a seat.
Do you expect to be having or any world leaders in the next day or so?
Yes. Are you going to finish it? I hope it's enough.
Oh, you mean the filming?
Yes.
The filming.